Hey everyone, I'm super excited today to unbox the 6-in-1 Universal Trim Router Jig from Custom 3x3. And if you're a fan of Tamar's channel, then you should recognize this intro. I'm John with Life Happens, Let's Fix It. Let's get started. Today we're going to do something a little different. My first unboxing video. And you can see here my package has arrived from Tamar, 3x3 Custom. And for those of you who've been watching her channel, you know this is the 6-in-1 router jig. So I thought I would let you guys watch me unbox this for the first time. Been out of town and I got back and somebody has already opened the box, but I have not opened it yet. So here goes. All right, looks like we got the outer wrapper, some U-line craft paper for padding. And looks like here we have the handles, and these things are beefy. These are pretty heavyweight plastic. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knobs, 2 handles, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. So that's that. All right, next, what do we have here? This is the Custom 3x3 stop block from Jonathan Katz-Moses with the 3x3 logo. All right. Got some anodized red aluminum here and unanodized, maybe anodized, just a gray color with 2 sliding T-bolt screws and 2 more triangle handles. Alright, and the last thing in the box is all our plates. Alright, we've got another Tamar sticker. And there's the triangle plate with paper still attached. Okay. So on this one they left me just a little tab to make it easy to peel off. I'm sure that was an accident, not an accident, but not intentionally. And that peels off. So that is the triangle plate. So that's flush on this side, and then you got a cutout there for the screw to fit in. And that it is below the level there, so that will slide smoothly without touching the screw. All right. And then we've got, oh look at that, it's got 3x3 etched into the plate. That's pretty cool. And then there's 2 more of those. Again, recessed on one side. And looks like only one of them's got the 3x3 etching in there. And then you got 2 extension pieces. Those appear to be identical regardless of which way you turn them. And then again the main base plate with the 3x3 custom logo. Looks like that's etched to be viewed from the opposite side. And then let's do the reveal from the back side. Put it upside down. That's pretty cool. Well, there you go. There's the initial unboxing. I'm gonna take the paper off everything and I'll lay it all out and see if it matches what Tamar promised in her video, and I'm sure it will be exactly as she promised. And here's everything with all the protective paper peeled off and laid out, and everything is just as described in the video when you placed your order. I forgot to point out earlier that here's the little pin taped to the handle, just like Tamar said, and as soon as I take that off, it will go right into the base plate as directed, as instructed. And I will point out that this is not included with the 6-in-1 jig. This is a separate purchase and it's a limited time, so I'm not sure if they're sold out of those yet or not, but you can always get the non-logoed one from Jonathan Katz-Moses website. And I think I mentioned earlier that there were 6 of these screws. There were actually 8, so 2 for the 2 handles and then 1 each for the smaller triangular handles. This next step, I'm going to show you how to attach a Ryobi Trim Router to the 6-in-1 Universal Trim Router Jig. I'm not sponsored by Ryobi. This is just the router that I use, and I really like it a lot. It's a good affordable router. It's not the best in its class, but it is by far the most affordable. So anyway, as I said, I'm not sponsored, but if you'd like to help out the channel, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have an affiliate link in the description if you want to buy one of these routers from Amazon. It'll cost the same to you, and I'll just get a little commission on the side, so it's a win-win situation. So with that, let's show you how to get it attached. All right, so now we're ready to do step 1, which is find the correct holes for mounting your router. So the instructions have a pro tip. Make sure you're printing with the actual size box checked in Adobe. So when you print this out, if you lay this on here and the holes don't line up, then you might have missed that setting. But the instructions just say to lay it out here, the logo on this side, and you do need to make sure that it's turned the right way. Okay, so this has got the recess on the top. All right, and so then all my holes are lining up. And then if you look at the legend, you can see, in my case it's very easy because Ryobi and Rigid apparently have the same hole pattern, and it's the only item on here with the slash through the circle. So that's real easy for me to see. So I would just mark this with the Sharpie, and then it should be real easy to find the holes. But let's say that you don't want to use a Sharpie for whatever reason, and let's say maybe you don't have the instructions, or maybe you're just too impatient. You can just take the template, again making sure the recesses are on the top side. You can hold it centered, with the hole centered in the center of your router base plate, and then just rotate until the holes line up. You can see there's where my holes are. All right. And then just to see if it matches up to the diagram, as a double check, make sure this process is one that you would want to use, I'm going to mark the holes with a Sharpie. And then we'll put it back on the pattern and see if we're right. All right, now I marked them and lined it up on the template, and you can see it worked just doing the manual lineup. There's my Sharpie on the edge of the template. There's the Sharpie down in the shoulder, and same over here, down around the shoulder, down inside the hole, and then the last one's right there. All right, so there's how to get your template lined up with the template or without it. All right, so next we just need to take the plate off of, base plate off of my Ryobi router. And again, don't lose these screws, we'll be using them again. All right, with the screws removed, I can take my base plate off, put the new one on. So just get them started, and don't tighten the first one down. Just get them, each one started until you get all four in there. That way you've got a little play to get it lined up just right. And I would not recommend using a drill screwdriver on this, because you don't want to over tighten these screws and break your acrylic plate. So again, just kind of like when you're putting lug nuts on a tire, just want to tighten them down a little bit each time and keep working your way around, and then that way they kind of self-adjust and seat in the right position. And again, don't over tighten, just kind of snug them down. All right, and then they are below flush with the plate. Now, the one thing I'm a little concerned about is the logo was etched on the bottom side, so I'm a little bit concerned that could scratch your workpiece when you're moving around. So if I had one suggestion, it would be to carve the logo on the other side. I'm assuming the reason they did that is because they want to do everything in one pass. So all of these holes can be cut, the ones that cut all the way through can be cut through, but then they've come back and they've cut out a recess or a countersink, I guess you might want to call it. So in order to print the logo on the other side, they would have had to flip the sheet over. So I don't know, maybe I can sand that down, but right now you can definitely feel it protruding. All right, so one thing to notice, the base is not square with the router plate, but I don't think that's a big deal because it is a radial type tool, so you're spinning, it doesn't really matter what orientation your piece is in. Okay, and for the last step, we're going to connect our handles. The first thing we do is take the little pin that comes taped to one of the handles, just as promised. Maybe I could get a job working in their warehouse, being the one who tapes the pin to the handle. It's the most important job. All right, so the recommendation in the instructions is to go ahead and attach this to the fixed I guess what these are called. Not sure their exact name. Don't have the instructions in front of me. But there's 3 of them, and only one of them has a threaded hole, and that's the one with the logo on it. And you want to screw it in to the side that has the recess cut in. At least for the circle cutting operation, this needs to be on the bottom. But again, the primary reason for doing this is so you don't lose your pin. So go ahead and do that. And then the next step is to screw the handles on. So this is as easy as dropping in your screws into the side with the recess. And then just screw those on. Again, don't over tighten those. Just want to get them tight enough to quit moving, but not so tight that you crack the plastic. All right. One thing I did notice here, looks like there's a shoulder on this hole here. So I think it's set up for doing like a bushing or a pattern bushing that fits in there. So I don't have one of those yet, but I might get one of those now that I have that one. This one is kind of just beveled, the one that came with it. So make sure you don't lose that. Put it back with your wrench and keep that stored where your bits and your router are stored so you don't lose those. All right, so now it's time to give this thing a try. And I will say the one thing I like about the 2 handles already is when I was using this router, I always knew, I had to think about my thumb and not sticking it in this hole here. So that was always something that bothered me. Fortunately, I didn't have any accidents, but that was a concern. So with this, it really takes away that concern. So let's see what happens here. Grab my ear protection. Right. A nice little edge on that. Felt way more solid than just trying to balance the router itself. That's very fun and easy to use, and again, the amount of control that you gain with that size of a base is very noticeable. All right, I'm going to demonstrate one more operation and then we'll call it quits. Because basically I just wanted to highlight the fact that when you're putting to do like a dado, I'm going to show how to do a dado, and so we just need an edge guide. And so make sure the recesses are pointing up so that when you put your bolt in, it's below the surface. All right, and then you just put these on. All right, and just set them to whatever width that you want. Again, it doesn't even have to be that square. It just needs to kind of be from the tip of the blade to the edge. That's the measurement you want. Don't over tighten, and always keep your battery out when you're doing your setup. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and hopefully this was helpful to get your Ryobi attached to the 6-in-1 jig and see how to use it. If you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you click the notification bell so that you get alerted when new episodes come out. Well, thanks for watching, and again, this is John from Life Happens, Let's Fix It.